Off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, lies a small, quiet island, Oak Island. To most, it's just another patch of land surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, but to treasure hunters, it's one of the most mysterious and cursed places on Earth. It all began in 1795, when a young man named Daniel McGinnis was wandering through the woods. He stumbled upon a strange depression in the ground, perfectly circular, about 13 feet wide. Beside it hung an old block and tackle, a tool used for lifting heavy objects. To a curious teenager, it could only mean one thing: buried treasure. Daniel gathered two of his friends, John Smith and Anthony Vaughn, and the three began digging. A few feet down, they hit a layer of stone. 10 feet deeper, a platform of oak logs. Then another layer of logs every 10 feet after that. Someone had clearly built this, and they had gone to great lengths to hide whatever was buried below. By 30 feet, their tools started breaking and the pit began to flood. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't go deeper. The boys had to stop, but the legend of the money pit had begun. It was in 1804, a wealthy group called the Onslow Company arrived to continue the dig. They confirmed the boys' story. The wooden platforms were real, appearing every 10 feet. At 90 feet, they found a large flat stone with mysterious symbols carved into it. No one could read it at the time, but years later a supposed translation would appear. 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried. Excited, they dug deeper, and then it happened. At 98 feet, the pit suddenly filled with seawater. No matter how fast they pumped, the water kept rising. It was as if the ocean itself had been waiting to protect the treasure. Later expeditions discovered that the pit was connected to the sea through a complex series of underground flood tunnels, man-made and incredibly advanced for the 1700s. Whoever built this had designed it to flood automatically if disturbed. Over the next 2 centuries, team after team tried to reach the bottom. Each one failed, each one lost money, and sometimes lives. In 1849, the Truro Company sent drills down. They claimed to have hit metal, possibly gold, and then a layer of wood and clay suggesting a vault. But before they could retrieve anything, the pit flooded again. By the 1860s, the site had earned its dark reputation. Workers who entered the tunnels were often overcome by toxic gases or drowned when flood tunnels collapsed. A local legend began to spread, a curse that said, 7 men must die before the treasure is found. So far, 6 treasure hunters have perished in the search. And in the 20th century, the mystery deepened. In 1931, an expedition found coconut fiber buried deep in the ground, a material not native to Nova Scotia. Others found bits of parchment, metal fragments, and even traces of mercury, once used to preserve ancient documents. Some believed the treasure belonged to pirates like Captain Kidd, while others said it was the lost riches of the Knights Templar, gold, relics, or even the Holy Grail itself. In 1965, the Restall family, who had spent years searching the island, faced tragedy. Robert Restall and his son Robert Jr. were inspecting a new shaft when they were overcome by poisonous fumes. Both died instantly. 2 others who tried to rescue them also perished. That made 4 deaths in one day, and brought the curse one step closer to being fulfilled. Then came modern technology. In the 1970s, investors brought in sonar, drilling rigs, and even cameras lowered into the flooded tunnels. The footage showed something chilling: shapes resembling chests, wooden beams, and even what appeared to be a human hand. But every time someone got close, disaster struck: cave-ins, flooding, and equipment failure, as if the island itself refused to give up its secret. By the 2000s, the legend had drawn global attention. The Lagina brothers, featured in the series The Curse of Oak Island, used drones, 3D mapping, and underwater excavations, uncovering coins, tools, and centuries-old artifacts buried deep beneath the soil. Yet even with all that technology, the treasure remains hidden. The money pit is still one of the most sophisticated and mysterious engineering feats in history. With tunnels, booby traps, and secret chambers no one can fully explain. Today, Oak Island stands as a monument to obsession, hope, and tragedy. More than 200 years after Daniel McGinnis first picked up his shovel, no one has reached the bottom. And no one knows what or who waits below. Some say it's cursed gold, some say it's sacred relics, and some believe the island was never meant to give up its secret at all. But one thing's certain: Oak Island has swallowed fortunes, dreams, and lives, and still it calls to the next generation of treasure hunters. because the world can't resist the promise of what might lie just a few feet deeper.